I decided that pursuing another relationship wasn't what I really wanted, that I had already invested 20 years in this one. 5 other lives, were at stake here. What in God's name was I doing?
At a difficult past.
We asked the question, was this marriage, was this relationship worth saving? And fortunately, we came to the conclusion that it was. So we kind of like sat down and, I told her, the whole story. But then that's when the hell really began.
I really did not experience that he was penitent. The words were coming out of his mouth, but his body language and just his whole demeanor kind of was saying, well, yeah, I did it, so what? And that was not what I wanted to hear at the time.
And all I was saying was, I admitted my mistake, like Clinton, forgive and forget. But later on, we found out that, that's a myth, that you can't, just forgive and forget, like that.
We were invited on a weekend, and on Saturday of the weekend, there was a healing and forgiveness experience. And what it was a foot washing, kind of like Christ did with the apostles. And in the midst of all of that, Josh came to me and he asked me, I want you to forgive me. Will you allow me to wash your feet? That's what did it. I experienced, it wasn't groveling, but I experienced that for the first time, he experienced my pain and was willing to help me to forget that.
We appeared to be the all-American successful couple. And where did you see God portrayed in any of that,
When we decided to go back to the church and all the principles that we had been raised with, it was tremendously uplifting to experience God working in my life again, to acknowledge God working in my life again.